Okay, so I actually watched Frozen 2 before Thanksgiving, but I wanted to wait to do this video to let my thoughts sink in. And I kind of was curious to see what other people thought about this movie because I got some opinions. By the way, I'm wearing a two penguins making a snowman because. Do you want to build a snowman? I'm so glad that the songs in this movie are not quite as catchy as the songs in Frozen 1 because we don't worry everybody. We are not going to have a Frozen apocalypse like the first movie, okay? Thank the Lord. I mean, honestly, I liked the first movie, and I really enjoyed the songs from the first movie. I enjoyed the story from the first movie. But I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really a part of the hype of, like, Frozen's the greatest movie to have ever existed, you know? I remember in theaters watching the first one thinking, this is good. This is a good movie. I enjoyed my experience. I paid a proper price for this movie ticket. All right. And then it just exploded and it slowly became annoying. So yeah, Frozen 2, it's out now. And I have to say, Frozen 2 is both better and worse than the first movie. I usually want to go through, like, you know, the visuals, the music, the voice acting, the story, and all the characters, blah, 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 blah. Let's just get some of the technical stuff out of the way. Okay, so visually, this movie is gorgeous. Of course, you know, this is a beautiful movie. Half of the time, the movie is just whoa. But the other half of the time, look, I feel like this movie would have been fantastically beautiful if the mist wasn't covering half of the movie. Okay, so spoiler alert. Do I have to say spoilers? Like guys, the movie's been out for a few weeks, okay? Spoiler alert. I'm going to be talking about the whole plot. I'm going to be spilling all the tea. I'm sorry, okay? If you haven't seen the movie at this point, you've been warned. So Anna, Elsa, and the crew, they all go into this mystical forest. It's in all the trailers, like you guys should know. Unfortunately, I wish the mist itself were more unique. It's just like a regular grayish, brownish mist that covers the entire movie half the time. And it's just kind of smoky and gray. And it's like, can we have the mist be pretty or something? I don't know. If the mist were prettier, this movie would have been just stunningly gorgeous. The scenes when we're not in the forest look great. But the scenes where they are in the forest, which unfortunately is half the movie, is just, it's just kind of smoky. And it's like, oh, well, that sucks. Okay, musically, I think this movie is really great, although this movie tried 2 times to create another Let It Go, and unfortunately it didn't work, but there's still great songs in this movie. So the very first song, All Is Found, I love this song. It's not like catchy, it's not going to be played over the radio, but as it functions in the movie, I think it's a beautiful world building story. It's a story song, okay? And I don't know, it just really helps expand the universe through the music, you know? It literally functions as a plot device because it spells out what, you know, Anna and Elsa should do in the situation and blah, blah, blah. Some things never change. I'm not gonna lie. I did not like this song. I didn't like the song. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. Okay. The entire point of the song is, you know, like there are some things in life that they just never change. But from the first line, I was like, things are going to change, aren't they? I'm like, this is no secret, okay? They're not even going to try to be subtle about this. The melody and rhythm is hard to catch on to. It's not like For the First Time in Forever. For the First Time in Forever, I love that song from the first movie. Something's Never Change is just kind of a, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't know how to describe it beyond that. Into the Unknown. Okay, so this is the big number. This is Let It Go number 1. I really like this song. And it's like, dang it. But I don't think this song is going to catch on like Let It Go. First of all, the vocals in this song, Idina Menzel, oh my gosh. Like this this lady can hit a high note, okay? And I think that's one of the reasons why this song may not become as popular, because it's going to be harder for people to sing it, okay? This is not an easy song to sing, okay? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to say beyond that. It's a great song. I like it. Kudos. When I'm Older. Okay, so this is the Olaf song. I don't think this song is as cute and fun as In Summer, like the Olaf song from the first movie. I think this song was okay. I could sit through it once, but it is definitely not a song that I'm gonna go back and listen to again. Does that make sense? Reindeers Are Better Than People. It's a rehash. It's the same song as the first movie. Next. Lost in the Woods. Oh my gosh, do I have mixed feelings about this song. This is straight up an 80s song. Okay, so I listened to the entire soundtrack before watching the movie. I always do that with musicals because I want to prepare myself. And when I listened to this song before watching the movie, I thought, okay, this is odd, but I like the song. Okay, well, let's see how this turns out. Unfortunately, once I watched the movie, I began to like the song less. It was so cheesy. It was too much. It was too cheesy. I know they were going for cheesy, but it was too much cheese. Okay, just a little too much. It was for me. It was cringeworthy. I don't know. I know some people, they love the song. It was like the best part of the movie, but for me, it's kind of a weird situation. Usually, I'll listen to the song and the soundtrack, and I'll like it, and then once I watch the movie, I like it even better because I understand the context of what's happening. This happened. This is the exact opposite of what happened. I listened to the song, I liked it, then I watched the movie, and I hated it. I don't know. Like, that's how cringeworthy the scene was for me. I just felt, this is weird. Not to mention that the song sounds so out of place compared to the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie, the songs sound like they belong in Frozen. This is the one song in this soundtrack that does not sound like it belongs here. It doesn't sound like it belongs from this world. It doesn't. I'm sorry. Just because Kristoff is singing it doesn't mean that it should be here. Okay, if we cut out the song, I don't think the movie would have lost anything. I'm sorry. Show Yourself. Okay, so this is Let It Go Part 2. Show Yourself. I really like the song. This is like the transformation sequence song. This is really great story-wise. And then when you add it with the visual, it had the effect of like, I like the song more. Now that I see the visual, it's really powerful. It's really great. Cool. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as popular as Let It Go. Great song. Not as catchy as Into the Unknown. It's catchy a little bit, but not quite as much as Into the Unknown. I think that's going to be the big one. But in the context of the story, I think it is a great song. The Next Right Thing. Now, this is my favorite song in the entire soundtrack. I think for a lot of people, they might think the song is like really, really depressing and stuff like that. But I think that this is the kind of message that I think everybody should hear. What do you do when you are struggling and suffering through something? And the simple answer would just be just take one more step. Just do the next right thing. And I think that's an amazing message. And of course, this song, Kristen Bell is acting this song amazingly. Like, I felt the emotional struggle that Anna is going through, because Kristen Bell isn't using perfect vocals in the beginning of the song, okay? She sacrifices a little bit of the vocal quality for the sake of acting the part. And I think that makes the song so much more powerful. This is the song that got me emotionally. And I just think it's great. It is my favorite song on the soundtrack, even though it is not the catchiest one. So, kudos. Music in this movie, very good, except for, you know, Kristoff's song and Olaf's song. For me, those were kind of the weakest points. But overall, music's great. I don't think I'm going to remember most of the songs in this movie except for Into the Unknown. That's going to be stuck in my head for a little bit. Okay, so before we continue the video, I wanted to mention some of the outtake songs. And I listened to all of them, and I gotta say, most of them are kind of mediocre, and I'm glad they didn't make it into the movie. So, like, Home, for example, is pretty I Seek the Truth, pretty Unmeltable Me is actually annoying, so I'm so glad that didn't make it into the movie. However, this song, Get This Right, oh man, it's actually really good. I really wish this was put into the movie, because it's basically Kristoff's proposal stumble up, kind of. And it's all encapsulated in one song. And I wish that was put into the movie so that we wouldn't have to have him, you know, trying to propose to her the entire movie. We could just have it done and over with, you know? Yeah, and this song is just super creative and so full of character. And I really like this song. So, yeah, this song, I really wish it was in the original movie, but, you know, we got what we got, I guess. Voice acting, it's great. It's great. These people know how to act. I don't think there was a single point in the movie where I listened to the voice and was like, that's Kristen Bell, or that's Idina Menzel. Voice acting's great. I don't think there's anything else to say. Great. They're good. Story. Oh boy. Oh my goodness gracious life. Okay, so let's start. Basically, we learn more about the lore of this world and the source of Elsa's powers. And that's pretty much the entire movie. They go to discover that in this enchanted forest. Let's just do this character by character, okay? I'm not gonna go scene by scene throughout the entire movie because you can just look up a synopsis, I guess. Okay, so Anna in this movie, I like her in this movie. I think she is necessary for the plot, but the scenes where Kristoff is trying to propose to her she jumps to these crazy conclusions, and it's unreasonably crazy. It's just like, what, Anna? How did your mind jump from here to here? Huh? And it causes Kristoff. Oh my gosh, Kristoff, his entire gambit, the entire movie, is he's just trying to propose to her. The entire movie. The entire movie for almost 2 hours, Kristoff is just trying to propose to Anna. And it gets old. It gets old. Oh my gosh. After the second time, I was just like, just propose to her. Just spit out the words. Tell her. That's it. It's just like, is this hard? Is this too much? Is this too much for you, Kristoff? It got tiring really quick. Like, He's also gone for most of the movie. Yeah, so Kristoff, he gets separated from the group, and then he just disappears for 2/3 of the movie. Like, literally, he's in the beginning. He's gone for the entire middle half of the movie, and then he shows up, like, just a little bit in the end. It's just like, I hate to say this, but he did not have to be in this movie for the most part. He needs to be in this movie, okay? Like, I don't want them to have to explain, why is Kristoff gone? But, yeah, like, he just got Thanos snapped out of the movie for over half of it. It's just like, okay, well, bye, I guess. Olaf is okay in this movie. I thought he was okay in the first Frozen film. I like that he wasn't super, like, over the top or anything like that. He definitely got a laugh from me from when he was doing his reenactment, like his interpretive version of Frozen 1. He's explaining it to like the new people. It is really fast and kind of hard to follow if you don't have fresh memories of the first movie. Same with the post-credit scene. By the way, there's a post-credit scene after the credits of the movie, so stay for the entire thing. Those moments were really funny. And also the Samantha joke, I think that was cute as well. Everything else, I kind of felt like, did he need to be here other than those few cute little jokes? I don't know. Basically, when he got Thanos snapped out of the movie, he literally just disappears because, spoiler alert, Elsa like dies for a short point in the movie, and that causes Olaf to disappear, literally fade away into like snowy mist, like the Thanos snap. That's the best way I can describe it, and that prompts the Next Right Thing song. Yeah, I don't know. Olaf, he was fine. I will say that Olaf did have some weird quotes in this movie. He said some weird things in this movie that I thought was very out of character. So right when they enter the Enchanted Forest, he says this line about, did you know that enchanted forests, like, they change people? What? Where did that line come from? Olaf, how do you know this? It's, huh? He just says it, and I'm just like, that was out of nowhere. Were you not like talking about, oh, I don't understand anything because I'm like only a year old, so maybe I'll understand things when I'm older. But then he says stuff like this, and I'm like, are you some sage? You're saying giving some sage advice or something like that? From where? What? Do you know a lot about enchanted forests? Do you have experience in these matters? Also, that line really reminded me of Into the Woods, the musical by Sondheim, because a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie is like Into the Woods. Actually, a lot of this movie kind of reminds me of Into the Woods. There's giants, there's singing, there's magic. A lot's going on, okay? Also, the water has memory theory that's going on in this film. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Is that supposed to have a message of some kind? If it is, I don't know. It's just, it almost comes across as kind of a unique mechanic that helps some of the story continue going on. Like, Elsa, because of her ice powers, she sometimes creates these ice sculptures of like these random people, and somebody asked him, like, what do you think they are? And she just says, frozen memories of the past? Whoa, that's a good guess. Give this woman an award at that. Wow, you nailed it, So I don't know where that theory is going. I didn't know why. I don't know. I had mixed feelings about it. It was just like, okay, water is memory. Is this promoting recycling? Is it like a recycling message? Like how this movie recycled a lot from the first film? Like there are a lot of references to the first film, and even clips pulled from the first film pull it into this one because it has like the memory thing, but they literally play clips, and I'm just like, there's a lot of recycling in this film. I feel like this movie did a lot of, remember that first movie? We did that first movie. That was good, right? I gotta say, Elsa was the only character that I genuinely really liked throughout the entire movie. I really liked her more in this movie than I liked her in the first movie, because I didn't like her all that much in the first movie. But yeah, I really loved her in the second one, and I thought her story was the most interesting story, and it was like the main plot device. But I wish the movie focused more on her, and instead of having to give like these ridiculous stuff to like Kristoff, like, Kristoff, can you just propose? Like, I hated those scenes. Also, so basically, because of like some sins of the past that, they're Anna and Elsa's like grandpa did, he betrayed these people, and now they have to correct the wrong. Short story short, Arendelle has to be destroyed to repay for this evil that happened in the past. But then at the very end, Arendelle is protected and doesn't get destroyed. And I was like, okay, the spirits are cool with that. The spirits are, they don't care about the destruction. They just care about you trying to do the right thing. And then, oh, I guess never mind. It doesn't have to be destroyed. We're good. Is it the intention that counts? It's the thought that counts. Is that the message? I don't know. I really wish that Arendelle got destroyed. And that's a horrible thing to say. But I wanted Arendelle to be destroyed and then rebuilt. Because I think that would have given, you know, the emotional payoff that the movie was building up while also having the happy ending. You know, because this is a more epic movie. There are bigger stakes in this movie than there are in the first one. And they were building up to Arendelle having to be destroyed. And so I was expecting Arendelle to be destroyed, okay? And then rebuilding, because that's an inspiring thing in itself. And that would give kind of the cushion of, okay, this has a happy ending. Everyone's recovered. Everyone's okay. But no, they couldn't do it. Disney could not do it. And it's like, dang it. Come on. Also, there's no villain in this movie. At least no dedicated villain. Like, I guess Anna and Elsa's grandpa is kind of the villain in this movie, but he's not active because he's already dead. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess. I don't mind that there's no villain in this movie, but with all the other elements, it's just like, well, if there's going to be no villain, I hope there's a lot of great other elements in this movie. And the story, as far as I'm concerned, is a little messy. If you guys haven't, figured that out by now. Also, so basically, Elsa becomes the fifth spirit, which that detail I caught on almost immediately when there's like, oh, these four elements, and then there's a fifth element. And I immediately was like, it's Elsa. Elsa's the fifth element. I figured it out. Then I thought, okay, so Elsa's the fifth element, and she's going to be the queen of Arendelle. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, she's so OP now. But no, she abdicates to live in the forest because she feels like she belongs there, which I'm like, okay. So then Anna becomes queen of Arendelle. And I don't know how to feel about that because I don't think that Anna would make a good queen. I'm sorry. I don't think either Elsa or Anna would make a great, ruler, great queen. But at least Elsa knew from a young age that she would become queen. So I think she was more capable and more responsible and more prepared to take on that role. Whereas Anna, she very much did not come across as like, oh, she's ready to become queen. She's ready to lead people. No, I don't know. Yeah, that's an odd decision. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't think Anna is ready to become queen, okay? What in the world is going to happen in Frozen 3? I have to watch Frozen 3 now. Like, I have all these questions, and I hope Hans comes back. I really wanted Hans to be in this movie, okay? I hope he was going to have, like, a redemption arc. There were rumors about that happening. I really wanted Hans to make a reference. He only shows up as a memory, and that's like, oh, okay, well, dang it. So, yeah, Frozen 3. I hope you don't, try to overwhelm yourself with all these 500 different ideas. Because overall, okay, let's just go to the overall. Okay, TLDR, you didn't want to sit through my entire rant. Here's the spiel. Overall, I think this is still a good movie. I think it is definitely worth watching, and I recommend it if you're interested or curious at all about, Elsa's powers, or if you were a fan of the first one. I do think you should watch it. However, this movie is a lot more messy than the first one. There are elements in this movie that I think are better. Like, for example, I think the lore in this world has definitely become much more rich compared to the first movie. Some of the visuals in this movie are fantastic. And especially in some of Elsa's numbers, they look beautiful. And some songs in this movie are really, really great. But the basic story in this film is not as smooth, not even close. I wish the story was just ironed out a little bit more, because they tried to throw a ton of different ideas into this movie, and because of it wasn't as satisfactory like the first movie. It is a solid movie. It's smooth. We know exactly what's going on. We know what the message is, all of that. This movie is a little bit muddled, okay? Do I think this movie is better than the first movie? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I think the first movie is better than Frozen 2. Even though I enjoyed Frozen 2, and I do recommend you watch it, I think the bad stuff in this movie just kind of overshadows the great stuff in this movie, in my opinion. So if you decided to sit through all of this, thank you so much. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Like the video, share the comments and the subscribing and the bells and all of that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.